I'm Jon Joffin, and I'm a cinematographer, and I have this excellent opportunity to shoot and direct this musical dance piece.
Hi, my name is Tony Diamore. I'm a senior colorist and director of creative workflow at Picture Shop.
The theme of the song is all we have in this life is visiting hours. So I wanted to have a little short film that showed all these special moments and to have a couple that's very vibrant, joyous, and had lots of motion. And then the counterpoint would be Renee's frozen, she's catatonic. And so it makes it literal visiting hours. But really it's all about enjoying your time on this earth. The whole vibe of the song is really icy, and there's the whole ice theme, and then the flowers frozen in ice. That was a big thing for me. I actually originally wanted to shoot this whole thing in Iceland. Access into ice caves is not that good right now. So our production designer, Sandy, who's fantastic, she came up with the idea of just getting ice chunks and putting them on the beach. And so we ended up buying these large ice chunks and we broke them up. So that's a piece of ice that's used for making expensive cocktails. To be honest, I haven't worked much with Red camera, and it was really interesting for me because it's a completely new ball game. I like the fact that there was a large camera and then the smaller camera, and the fact that it's the same sensor on both cameras. So you've got a production camera and then you've got the small camera that you can run around with. You know, we put it on a Ronin RS4. It was really small and really lightweight.
It's been since my Marvel days that I've been really with Red camera, and it definitely brought something unique as far as the aesthetic.
Renee's an incredible dancer, so is Justine too. They're both dancers, but they turned out to be incredible actors. The performance that Justine gave was amazing. You really feel for him. I feel for him anyway. That shot's really interesting if you freeze on that. On the right over here, we have our production designer. Behind her is the choreographer sitting in the shot. This scene I love because the camera flashes. I've never been able to shoot camera flashes like this before, and it just looks so great to my eye, the fact that it doesn't strobe or bend. At the nightclub scene too, we use strobes as well, and it's rock solid. In editing, we didn't have to cut around it. It was just all there, so we could pick and choose what we wanted to use. Really great thing about it.
I will say too, with the Red, I've been on projects where if you shoot a lot of blue in the sensor, it's really impossible to grab the colors back again. I'd say it was we did some really bold looks. It was a scene we did with the two of them running off in the rain. It was this chrome yellow color we pushed it. And we went like so yellow with it, and I was really worried it was going to come apart. It was like singing when we were done, so we were really proud of that.
Yeah, it's really great to be able to push colors in terms of emotion, not for technical reason. This was the moment in the short where they really connect, and it's supposed to be really passionate and just really warm, so it was really great.
Went really down deep in the shadows in this project, and then we were able to dig way down into the sensor. And the noise floor was really smooth. So
yeah, I was really impressed with the noise floor.
Here's an example too, like where we got a really low light here, and we're digging a little bit on this shot and the wider one. And the same thing, it's like the sensor is very smooth.
This was our transition shot that we did on the volume stage. So we started against a green screen with the phantom tracking, and we also had the flowers falling. And we were able to dissolve between the two, which I think worked really well. So the flowers we ended up blasting in the air with cannons and filming at 240 frames, and I think they look really good. They maybe look a little too good. We actually had to add a little blur.
That's the funny part.
Yeah. And this is probably the most colorful sequence in the whole show, and I think it really helps because you're coming out of the drab visiting room, and it really, makes a point. This is what's inside his head. It's how he's remembering this dance and her being alive.
It's very surreal, like with the color temp shifts, and then it's funny, it goes from there to this dancing sequence, and it's like a similar color palette in a way.
So we were in this forest and we were shooting this foggy shot, and I stumbled on this shot, and I looked up and I could hear the song in my head because we'd been playing it so much, and I noticed the trees were moving in time to the song, so it was a lucky find. I love the scope of this shot. I love that he's so small and the world's so big. And I love this kind of stuff too, where you can not light. You just find some light and you just shoot, We walked down the hallway and all the doors were open, and there was something I really liked about that, so we left them that way. For these shots, we were inspired by a National Geographic video we saw of ice freezing in time-lapse. Huge credit to second unit DP Mitch Baxter, who spent a lot of time shooting these time-lapses. We started by renting a small freezer. He did the ice freezing too for the nightclub. Most of the piece was shot with radiance lenses, but for key moments, we used the Angénieux zoom. And this close-up just felt like the right place to use it because it was so dreamy and buttery and smooth. It was just the perfect lens. It's the Optimo zoom. You can see that glow underneath the cloud. That's the city. It's the light from the city. It's not sunset. I always work exclusively with Keslow camera. On this project, they were unbelievable. They supported us in way more ways than cameras. They have a studio, and we ended up shooting a lot of the scenes in their studio. And Keslow introduced me to Red too. It was through Keslow that I ended up talking to you guys and getting you guys to help out with this. So thanks, Keslow. Thanks, Red.